Good evening, Randomania. Welcome to this Friday evening edition of Lali-Ho League Swiss Round number 5. Tonight's matchup between Aeriyah and Slippery in this 2-2 square-off. Both of our runners struggling to stay alive in our Swiss tournament. I am joined by Dijon Ketchup tonight. Dijon, how are you doing, and how hype are you for tonight's match?
I am doing all right. This match is gonna be it's gonna be a nail biter. It's gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be, I can't think of a third thing right now.
So Slippery, definitely kind of a known name. I know did placed fairly well in the football gauntlet. Made it to brackets in 3-miss zone. Aeriyah, I'm less familiar with. I think they're a fairly new runner. But 2-2 is a tough place to be in because you need 4 wins to advance to brackets, and 2-2 you are up against the wall, and you need 2 wins in a row to survive to the next round. So, what do you expect to see from our runners tonight?
Well, if Slippery's naming scheme is to be any indication, I'm expecting a lot of simulations.
A lot of simulations. That's absolutely right. That's a good naming scheme. I think you got to get more abstract as the tournament goes on when you're dealing with naming schemes. But I like that. I do like it very much. We also have some important objectives tonight. There's like a paragraph down there. Our 2 contestants come in with 2-2 records. Will one be voted out of bracket contention, or will they both survive with a tie? Oh boy, I think challenging the gods of free enterprise with a tie is not going to make our admin team happy.
Also, our tracker Scythe Marshal is asking what the name scheme is. They are all sim games. Sim City, Sim Earth, Sim Ant. I played a lot of Sim Ant as a kid. I don't know about y'all.
I never played Sim Ant, of course. But Sim City I played a lot of. There's Sim Park was there. Just the Sims. I don't know why Fusuyab gets to be just the Sims, since he is probably of all the Final Fantasy IV characters the least Sims-like of the bunch.
You know, a fun thing to
Just a
do in
fact. It's just a fact.
fun thing to do in Sim Ant was I used to like to take control of the queen and then see how far I could get before she died.
Well, what do you mean take control of the queen? Like, do you actually
You
like
could you
physically
could switch
control?
control between which ant you were.
So why would you purposely kill the queen, or would you just try to make her
Yeah, I would
survive?
try to see how far I could get her to go before she died, because her
Oh
health went
man.
down real fast.
Well, she's got to stay in that ant colony. She's got to be protected by her workers.
Yeah.
You're just destroying the whole ecosystem. Oh, tonight our Sid is paired with a bard.
And they're getting a rat tail from Leviathan, which, I mean, if you were going out, would you want someone to just be like, here, take this, and it's like it's not even the entire rat, it's just the tail.
Yeah, it's a weird good luck charm to be sending Sid and Edward off into the world with. That's for sure.
What even happened to the rat?
Oh boy, that's gonna haunt me this entire match.
I don't think there are even any rat enemies.
Oh no, are there any rat enemies? There certainly are in Final Fantasy VI, but I don't know. No, well, there's needle mice. There are needle mice.
No, well, yeah.
Those are mice, even though they look ratty. But no, we have our Sid and our Edward, of course, never too happy with the Edward start. However, Sid starts at level 20, has a bunch of HP, gets already has a decent starting weapon with this kit in the Dwarf Axe, so it's kind of a welcome character to start with on this flag set.
Yeah, and Slippery taking a peek at that Baron Inn, that's a free boss there, and we can tell which guard that is because there are 2 enemy slots there, and you can see the soldier, so it's Officer Soldier there.
Yeah, if it was just the Baron guards, they would be identical sprites there. So we know that that's the easier of the two.
Well, clearly the pink puff's tail is in a chest.
Of course. So Slippery doing some looting here in the back of the waterfall cave, pulling a Stardust item. It's going to help with some early game bosses and a Grimoire. The kind of loading up on the J items back here.
Yeah.
A lot of these are going to help with some tough early boss spots.
Aeriyah finding the alt gauntlet in the waterfall, so we're not going to be seeing an alt gauntlet tonight.
Yeah, that is too bad. I definitely like seeing the alt gauntlet in a root spot when I am commentating or watching a race, and I dislike seeing an alt gauntlet nearly anywhere when I am actually running because it's always slow and always upsetting. Slippery continuing to loot the watery pass here and doing the back of the cave. Pulling a Sylph, which is good if we find Aeriyah. Pulling a Silver Hammer, that's going to be good against any undead if Sid comes across any of them.
Well, and there's definitely one we're looking for.
For sure, yeah, Milan Z. So if Milan Z's in an early spot, that Silver Hammer is going to do a lot of work.
Well, there's
going to do extra work with the second Sid.
There's our Baigan over there on Mount Hobbs with another Sid.
So we do. It looks like we have the second Sid is the Mega Man Sid, which is the best Sid. It's kind of my favorite sprite in the whole Free Enterprise. I want to also say that there's a Captain America Sid in the middle.
I don't know. I think Captain America's helmet is blue.
Okay, Luca. It's actually Luca Sid.
Ah.
So Aeriyah completing objective number 4, only with less than 5 minutes into the seed, which is always a good place to be. That's got to be a comforting feeling. We only have 4 objectives required tonight in order to be rewarded with the crystal, and which will allow us to fight the final boss. So seeing that boss requirement this early is just a relief.
Also, Scala Kitty, creator of these palettes, is saying that red and blue one is Mario Sid.
Also makes sense.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes sense with the white stripe on the middle of the hat.
It's a me, Sid. That was more Mickey Mouse than Mario, I think.
Yeah, that was a lot more Mickey Mouse. You have to get a little bit more Italian stereotype in there. So Slippery following in Aeriyah's footsteps, going up to Hobbs, going to be rewarded with his Mega Man Sid and get his 4th objective out of the way.
Well, there's a free coffin for Aeriyah.
Yeah, coffins are great this early, especially with those guards hiding out in the Baron Inn. So we just use a coffin against it. Well, the first spot only has 400 HP divided up among those 4 cards, so not the best spot to use it. But if we were at a low HP party, you could just use it against the officer, and then that boss becomes essentially into auto kill mode.
Yeah.
Slippery looks like not done with the looting yet. Probably looking for some extra gear for Sid, maybe like a rune axe or something a little more damage.
And we have an underground leg at the at the Antlion Cave.
Probably it's a wonderful spot to see the leg. He's not going to be doing too much damage here in the Antlion Cave.
Yeah, you definitely want to see one of the tougher bosses in these early game slots. Well, well, you can check that rat tail now.
Yeah, so Aeriyah being rewarded with that hook, and the hook allows our runners access to the underground through the through the least desirable path, and also allows them to check that early game rat tail. The rat tail now has a purpose. It's not just a body part handed to us at the start of the game.
You're not just carrying around dismembered rats.
Yeah, and Aeriyah very quickly going to kind of pick up their fourth character, and probably check the item shop here in the Eblin Cave, even before turning in that red tail.
Another coffin, a dragon whip, so got some decent gear for Aeriyah if one pops up early enough. Between that and the sylph.
Yeah, Dragon Whip will also help a little bit with a low level Siren grind if we find that Aeriyah soon.
So there's Hourglass and Bacchus in the shop in Cave Eblin. Gonna be pretty good pickups. There's also some exits in there, which are worth picking up a few right now because don't currently have any characters who can use exit.
Yeah, especially if Aeriyah's goal right now is just to check the character at the back of Cave Eblin, then finding those exits are huge, just a huge time save.
Slippery getting his hook.
Yeah, we'll see if Slippery decides to give us a peek at what is behind this rat tail check. It could be pretty important. Especially if it is the magma key, that would alleviate some stress here in this possible mandatory hook route. But hook is one half of one of our required objectives as well. So, if they can pull a pink tail there, that's one more thing that they don't have to worry about.
An edge is nice, especially early in the game. I know there's been a couple of long swords that have been found.
Yeah, a couple of long swords, and a couple shurikens, and some other things that Edge can dart early on.
Yeet.
That's a pretty good description of Edge.
I suspect neither of our runners are going to yeet him, though.
No, Edge will be doing the yeeting. We will not be yeeting Edge.
Perhaps they find a spoon. It's going to be like a fight between Edge and Edward over who gets it.
So it looks like the Slippery, I believe, went to the Fabul defend here, not running right to the rat tail check, but deciding to clear this check first. CPU here, a little annoying, but is not going to be too much of a threat. Meanwhile, Aeriyah looks like attempting to do a full clear of Cave Eblin and running into those Stalemen and resetting at that point. So knows where the Staleman chest is and looks like it's probably gonna do more of selective looting on his way out.
Also, that boomerang will be good for Edge if he didn't come with one, because put it in his right hand and that will back row glitch him.
Yeah, for sure. With our, it's something that kind of still trips me up is our Sineki flag, which starts characters off with no armor and a random weapon, and that's sometimes good for some characters. Like the Dark Knight Cecil can start with his most powerful sword, but for Edge, he nearly always, I think, always starts off with worse gear than what he's going to be given in vanilla.
Slippery getting rewarded with a Luca key. Um, can't do anything with it right away, but definitely worth having later on for a quick check. Well, quick is relative, but it's also a door
Yeah,
grind if there's no sirens.
that's true. Yeah, it's the door grind is certainly an option now that the giant of Babel and our favorites D Machine grind has been pretty much off the table this entire tournament.
I also have it on good authority that if you look in the mirror and say door grind 3 times, you'll make Demarine appear.
Uh, is that uh, is that commentator's blessing right there? Because Aeriyah did pull that magma key from behind that rat tail.
So technically, both of our runners started with the magma key. It's just you got to go through some extra steps to get it.
That's right. That's right. I think hopefully Slippery checks that rat tail very quickly because forgetting it would be detrimental to his ability to make his way through this seed. Certainly, it's certainly not something. It's certainly something that would be easy to forget if you're just focusing on clearing these early checks and trying to power up your party.
And Aeriyah gonna go up Mount Ordeals. Maybe hoping to find a vanilla Mylon Z. Or at least French vanilla.
Yeah, we are still in boss hunt mode. And there are 3 bosses up here on Mount Ordeals. So, I think that if we weren't in a boss hunt, I mean, this might be a check that I hold off for a good while. Chasing those free checks in the underground.
Yeah, because right now we do not have a Cecil or a Tella, so you're looking at 3 bosses for 1 key item check, and there's already underground access. Like, both ways of underground access, so a lot of people would probably fade this for now, but...
Yeah, there is I believe there was a Tella in Baron Inn, but neither of our runners have picked him up yet, and he's not... I don't think he's going to be doing much for the party right now with 2 Sids and an Edge kind of leading the way. So it wouldn't be a priority if I wasn't hunting down that boss.
Taking down the Kenatsu so fast that it didn't have a chance to get that wave off until the part of its script for it to hide in the shell activated, so it used a wave in its shell.
Not something you see all the time with Kenatsu. But it's Kenatsu's wave is it's HP based, so with Aeriyah doing that so much damage to him, it was never going to be a serious threat, even if he didn't immediately go into his shell after the first round.
D-Lunar's on back attack. With an entirely physical team, not exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, this is where Hopefully Aeriyah has maybe a shuriken or a sword that Edge can toss. Because at least that'll give him... Oh, the Gaia Drum works too.
Yeah, I threw that out and a blizzard item.
But yeah, it looks like he doesn't have anything to throw, so just go into this pure physical, hoping to take him down before the virus does too much damage.
Oof.
And yeah, there's very few spots that the D-Lunar's virus attack does not just devastate. Like, virus is such a good spell.
Yeah, that's gonna be a reset.
He did not save after the Kinatsu fight either, so he's got to go through that boss again.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, usually a good idea to just backtrack a little bit of a ways to save at after that first spot. Usually you can get away with like going straight from the back attack into the chamber or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure I call it a different name every time. You can usually get away with that because it's a very low HP spot in the cathedral. And very few things are threatening there. Like, you can get a surprise wyvern sometimes, but some quick thinking with a run buffer can get one Star Veil off, and that's enough to take it out.
Yeah, for sure. And but that's the second spot of the three bosses here. It's the strongest, and because it's a back attack, it can be the rudest as well.
Hey, Slippery found a dancing dagger, so Eddie is less useless.
Well, I think Aeriyah has also found a dancing dagger, because I think that one of either his Edwards or his Sid was using it against Keimatsu.
And the free Fate March chest is the package. Probably not going to see either of our runners go and check that because there's no character checks in our objectives. Although there could be Mylon Z hiding in that Kaipo in boss spot. But I mean, like, generally, a lot of runners not going to take the extra time it takes to check that, because it takes a while to get to that spot because of the script.
Yeah, for sure. If you have to get pretty desperate to find that boss, if you're going to do it just for the boss hunt. Aeriyah using Edge's flame spell to take out those D-Lunars finally.
Slivery was in and out of that king and queen room that I did not see what any of the Fey March bosses were.
I did see a Dark Elf in the Asura spot. I did not get a look at what was in the Leviathan spot. Antlion at Leviathan.
Oh, so... that's not fun.
No.
You don't want that.
No, you don't want a boss that does a lot of physical attacks in the Leviathan spot ever. Ooh, Aeriyah finding a lot of value up here in Mount Ordeals. A lot of value here in Mount Ordeals. We got a bonus round.
Wow.
So, yeah, it looks like Mount Ordeals is certainly the play.
So yeah, no, forget what I said about fading Ordeals earlier. This is a good choice.
Never fade Ordeals is actually the new rule after looking at those.
Ordeals is the opposite of Antlion.
Yeah, so package certainly gives us this makes getting this early of a darkness crystal makes that package check even less tempting, because we're not even going to look and peek the character. I guess I think I would only be tempted to peek the character if like I was desperate for a white mage or a Fusoya or something, but I think that's probably it.
Slippery finding sirens in the Tomura shop. So now we know where those are.
Yeah, we don't get a door grind tonight.
Unfortunately.
I do like a door grind, and I think if to see a really talented and technical runner do the door grind is very it's very entertaining because you can if you manipulate their agility correctly, you're going to be able to reflect that instant death right back at them. Just take them out without any pain at all.
Well, there's a job development specialist. That is our job dwarf for the evening. So does he give all the other job dwarfs their jobs?
I imagine he at least must develop them, if not assign them.
And Slippery going to activate the Sheila 1 check. Um, no pan yet, so that's just here to stare at Yang and then leave. And then next time he goes to Fabul, Sheila will give him the first item she has. We generally say that Sheila has the goods, so hopefully she'll have something that our runners could use.
Yeah, it's still. I bet Slippery probably kicking himself a little bit that he didn't check the rat tail before doing the football defend. He could have combined these two checks into a single one. But that's of course foresight, which we always kick ourselves in the.
It's
in the
pretty easy
aftermath.
to get on autopilot and go straight to Fabul and do that gauntlet area.
But Sheila's got the goods tonight with a required key item with the adamant.
Rydia's mom trying to give Rydia something important. That's a Bahamut. So
Yeah, Rydia is gonna be a very important character if we manage to find her.
Aeriyah about to check the Mist Cave boss. Not sure if he's gonna check what the package is. Of course, Slippery is checking it, and it's just another Sid.
Yeah, Sid number 3 not going to tempt Slippery to sit through the long package cutscene today. Slippery also doesn't currently have the edge, so probably going to take a longer time to get through Mount Ordeals and to do most boss encounters overall, just because Edge is such a powerhouse. So little bit worried for him on that respect. Aeriyah is going to give us our first look at the boss in the second Baron In spot, as well as hopefully our key item there.
Yeah, looks like he's not gonna just use the coffin on the officer and then let the soldiers battle royale it out. But still a quick fight nonetheless. Oh, does manage to take out the officer before he retreats, though.
Yeah, I think at this spot, like I think each of those soldiers has like 50 hit points or something. Oh, we might have our.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So that's the 2 boss objectives already found. Not even half an hour into the seed. So
yeah, not even half an hour in.
Everything
so
else
Aeriyah's gonna have. Yeah, go ahead, Dijon.
I was gonna say everything else is just key items. Don't even need to look for D-Mist.
Yeah, not only is it just key items, but we have half of objective number 2, and we have half of objective number 3. So we need 2 perfect key item checks to be in go mode.
And there will not be a keyless tower from Aeriyah tonight.
So I think this is the point at the seed where we start placing our bets, whether we even need to go to the moon in this seed, with the, of course, exception of our final boss.
I mean, there's always the possibility that Twin Harp, Legend Sword, and Pinktail are all on the moon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we might not see one of our required key items for another hour and 10 minutes at this point. There's no telling with this flag stuff.
It looks like a jet seed, but looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, one rude boss that's gating a chain in the wrong place could completely derail this whole thing.
So Aeriyah's launching the big whale. I guess likely going to the moon to get the character there, and maybe check the shop. He has not found the sirens at Tomra yet.
No, Aeriyah opened up the path to the underground, but did they even go down?
I don't
they
think
just
he's
went right to
down there
Demist.
at all.
Yeah, he went right to Demist and then proceeded to summon the whale. That's well, yeah, Demist, Baron in, and then summon the whale. So his path to the underground is open, but he is not even set foot down there. So does not know that the Adamant Rock is freely available. But we'll be taking the time to check Hummingway.
Elixirs in the shop, but other than that, nothing really interesting.
If I'm buying elixirs on this flag set, something has gone terribly wrong. They're so expensive.
I mean, sometimes you find like a couple of crystal swords and no Cecil. And
that's true.
And as Asuka always says, you sell the crystal sword to assert dominance.
That's right. That is Asuka, though. That is not me. I clutched the crystal sword to my chest, just praying to find the Cecil at some point.
Well, Yang on the moon. How did he get there?
Was the kick around the world. He entered orbit and eventually made his way to the dark moon.
Also, so did he use the Donkey Kong 64 moon kick glitch?
Not sure what that is, so I'm going to say yes.
All right. Aeriyah thinking about getting rid of Eddie, but ends up getting rid of one of the Sids instead. Probably opting to keep Eddie as an anchor.
Yeah, good anchor, but Edward's agility growth is actually pretty significant as he gains levels. So if he's going to have to knock Edward out very soon in order to keep his agility under 13, unless he can find a cursed ring, which I don't believe either of our runners have come across yet. At least I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
French vanilla Golbez.
That's what's Golbez with more HP than he should have.
Yeah.
And then reset.
Aeriyah's like, no.
Understandable.
He's gonna go back in, I guess, probably to check the shop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dijon, I don't know, where do you fall with check 40 lives? That's a lot.
I mean
that's safety.
You got plenty of lives, both to keep your party alive and do the life glitch. I mean, they're pretty cheap too.
They are dirt cheap. I definitely always buy at least 10 extras, but that's hey, if he is going to be doing some life glitching, then they're good to have in the back pocket. But Dijon, where do you fall about? Because Slippery has not gone and checked the character at Cave Evelyn. Aeriyah did, and kind of made out with the ninja find. Is that a check you typically do just to see what the character is, or are you more like
Uh,
simply playing here, just happy with your party and just gonna truck off?
generally early game. Don't have a full party. Still starting out. I usually think it's worth going and checking the shop, getting the character, and looting the cave. Because you can get some better equipment there than you can in a lot of other early game slots. And what you don't need, you can sell for more things from that shop.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice convenient. It's a nice convenient place to have the a densely packed cave full of chests and a place to sell all that loot right there. Sell the Wee Bear calling to sell the Bahamut. That's definitely an assert dominance guy. That's another thing. Like a Bahamut summon with no ready, I definitely am clutching to my chest.
Yeah. Well, let's see. For character checks, we know it's not packaged that would have Aeriyah. Um, Aeriyah's not going to be doing uh, Dwarf anytime soon because of that Golbez. I guess she could be in bed at Kaipo or on the Giant or in Baron. And and yeah, the Tower of Zot too. That's right.
Yeah, there are still a lot of character checks out there.
Yeah.
But we just haven't gotten the items required for them.
We haven't found any mages other than Tella.
No, and Tella's utility on this flag set is not what he was in 3 Miss Zone. We were coveted Tella in 3 Miss Zone, but here he's not the all-star he used to be.
He's not an all-star. He didn't get his game on. He did not go play. But yeah, with that vanilla giant flag, you're not gonna do any D-machine grinding, most likely. Especially not now that all we need is key items, and yeah, these guys are not going to going to the giant at all. But yeah, Tella having weak pretty early on made that grind, and that's about what his purpose was. So without that, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that holding on to him until mid game if you can't find a white mage, just in case you need that cure 4 in a difficult spot, is fine. But I'm always, if I don't have a white mage, I'm always searching for one, just because it feels so much safer to have one than not.
Yeah, like at a certain point, you're like, I'll take Porum.
I don't want the Porum. I will take her though. Aeriyah bought a bunch of bought a bunch of sirens and taking advantage of the 2 coffins that he found just in random chests to give his party a nice level boost here before probably before climbing the tower to take advantage of those 2 character checks or 2 key item checks and hopefully find some progression here.
Also, looking like Aeriyah not gonna use the Edward as an anchor, because he's getting levels as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see why Aeriyah is keeping the Edward around, maybe just as a placeholder. But if that was the case, I would certainly rather had the Cid with a weak axe rather than Edward with an Edward weapon. Although
Maybe,
the dancing dagger is not terrible.
Maybe just to avoid the wrath of Asuka.
That is something you have to consider.
Because, I mean, you never know. She could roll your next seed.
Yeah, but even when Asuka likes you, I don't think that's gonna stop. That's not gonna stop your seed rolling from being anything but rude.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice. All I'm gonna say is week 2 was not a good week for me. Alright, we're gonna see that super cannon.
And we're also Slippery is finally gonna get his ninja.
Here's our other Mylon. You almost hope to see Z in this one, because, well, he's got a Gaia drum. It'll be like one hit.
Yeah, even Flame there would have been one hit, or any spell from Tala would have gotten through this really quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, this boss spot has something in the neighborhood of like 6 to 800 HP. It's very weak.
Slippery getting rid of a Sid, but obviously getting rid of the wrong Sid because he just dumped Mega Man Sid.
Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a curse.
Now who will stop Dr. Wowie?
See, if it is possible that Zeromus takes the form of Doctor, I don't know if I can say that the same way you did.
Yeah,
Wowie,
Dr. Wowie.
Yeah, that's gonna be a real problem for Slippery if that happens.
You know, Fusoya does kind of look like Dr. Light, and Tella does look a bit like Dr. Wowie.
What am I supposed to follow it up with? I have no.
English dubs of cutscenes from Japanese games.
Golbez and Bahamut's are going to be on the screen at the same time. This is Bahamut, mostly a free boss if you can get Starveils up before the countdown comes down. Golbez, not a free boss, an annoying cutscene, and a ha ha ha.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, not resetting out of Golbez. Guess he's really got faith in the key item.
Yeah, I mean, the problem here is not Golbez himself, because Starveil up, you'll get through him. He'll mostly kill himself. The problem is going to be whatever the boss is after Golbez. If it's something rude, your party's going to be in a bad state.
Yeah, Golbez just takes a long time, and he kills all but 2 of your party. Although Slippery's gonna get a sneaky 3rd character alive because Eddie got a quick hide off. But yeah, that puts you at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to starting the next fight.
Yeah, actually, both Aeriyah and Slippery taking advantage of Edward's hide ability in both these fights, with Slippery helping Edward to survive the Shadow Dragon, and Aeriyah allowing Edward to not be affected by the Mega Nuke.
You could say on Aeriyah's side that Edward is playing possum.
You could say
but
that.
I digress.
You could say that. That is typically what my Edward is doing in these seeds.
If they come across an evil wall, depending where it's at, Edward's hide ability could come in handy there as well.
Yeah, Edward becomes very valuable against an evil wall because if there's no characters on the screen for evil wall 2, that is a twin heart.
Oh, hi.
Hi there, twin heart.
So tower good. And
Tower very good, and we still
we'll
haven't
see what.
seen the second key item.
Yeah, you still gotta leave. He already fought the boss, but he's gotta leave to get that other item. But I get the feeling Raya's probably gonna head to Cave Magnus pretty shortly. Because not only is
Yeah,
that an objective, it's an objective that also gives you another key item check.
that's right. And we're down to one required key item for go mode.
Oh, and I think they randomized something about that fight. I don't know. I think people like it.
I'm unfamiliar with that part of this randomizer, but I'll take your word for it.
Uh,
Oh, you mean the key item? They
oh
randomized
yeah,
the key item.
that's it.
The boss? The boss there is randomized as well.
Yeah. Well, then have I got news for you. Also,
Well,
where's Cecil?
yeah, always there's always a part of me that gets a little bit excited when I see Excalibur, because I think that, oh, I don't have to forge now, but that's not how the game works.
Yeah, unfortunately the objective is not get the Excalibur. It's have Kokol forge the Excalibur. And it's just like it's so like you go there and he's like so proud of it and excited and it's just like I already found 2 of these, but thanks. I'm just gonna sell it right back to your guy here. But yeah, Slippery got Aeriyah, but probably. Nope, never mind. I was thinking he wasn't gonna use any of those summons, but no, he activated that Leviathan. But not Sylph or Bahamut because of reasons, I guess. But it looked like he was gonna keep Aeriyah as an anchor.
Yeah, I mean, Bahamut's gonna do a bunch of damage even with. Well, no, he's not, because he's not gonna have the MP to cast it. So I'm gonna stop saying that. I don't know. Maybe just didn't want it in his inventory. Not sure. Oh, well, made a decision there. So Rydia's not going to be Slippery's anchor. It looks like the
I guess
Tala will become the anchor.
I guess Aeriyah must have just been collateral damage on that fight.
Well, level 1 Rydia is not gonna revive the the majority of fights in that place.
Yeah, even as an adult. Yeah. She's still only got like what, 60 HP at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, 30, not
30,
even
yeah.
60.
So, so Dijon, I think there is something else that we randomize here in Cave Magnus. We wanna explain it to all the folks out there who may not be familiar with this randomizer?
I don't know. I think I'm not supposed to talk right now.
Oh. Okay, we'll be very quiet.
Well, we got some NES Batman tunes from DJ Spoonie B, and does Pale Dip count as French vanilla?
Uh, yeah, this it could because it is the same sprite as the second phase of Dark Elf. Is that what you're going with that? I'll count it.
So Dragoon Spear, pretty good weapon. Doesn't do you any good without a cane. Uh, so maybe you'll hang on to that, and then just in case. Yeah.
Yeah, just I'm I'm pretty sure one of our characters was called a Yeet for a reason though, so it might gain us some utility there.
Yeah.
But yeah, terrific rendition of that NES Batman song on the harp. Kind of really incredible what our developers can do with some of those harp renditions of classic game music.
Yeah. Sunsoft did a lot of classic Warner Brothers properties.
Aeriyah returning to the Village Mist.
Looking for a curse ring, it looks like.
Would a cursed? I always forget. Would a cursed? I don't think cursed rings are in overworld shops ever. Are they?
I have found it in overworld shops.
They can be on S standard. They can be, I guess, because the chat is confirming as well. S standard is broken according to our tracker site, Marshall. Yeah. We Bear confirming S Pro they are gated, and so only underground or the moon, or only underground shops or Eblin. But
Yeah, I know for sure.
S-standard.
I've found a cursed ring in I can never remember the name of it. It's the town on the island next to where the Adamant Grotto.
It's Silvara.
Silvera, that's the one. I always forget that one's name. I had definitely found one in there.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of shopping on this flag set because you're able to pull such good loot. But yeah, the design string would definitely sometimes pull me in the direction of some armor shops.
Now, Aeriyah finally showing up to Fabul and getting rid of the CPU before it unleashes Globe 199.
Yeah, Slippery had that Luca key for a while, but has not bothered to check it. Which I mean, I wouldn't check it before doing the tower either. But it is a quick check if because it's a quick reset out, and just to confirm whether it's something valuable or not.
And,
Well, I say quick check, but it's an easily reset outable check.
and
It's still a long dungeon.
getting,
Sorry.
Araya's getting his adamant from Sheila.
And with the divergence that our runners have done, it's hard. Aeriyah clearly is a little bit ahead, just having already gone through Cave Magnus. Slippery has had that adamant for a while, but is about to get their twin harp now. But it's hard to tell how far ahead Aeriyah actually is at this point, because Slippery will very quickly after completing the tower probably be even objective-wise with him.
Well, and things can change at any time because, Aeriyah about to go to the moon, it looks like. Who knows what order he's gonna... Or maybe he's not. I don't know. Oh, you know what? He's probably putting a save there so that he can check the sealed cave. And if it's not anything good, reset to the save point next to the whale.
Yeah, very, very smart play. It's just going to save the extra bit of traveling time.
Yeah.
The other important thing to note is that Aeriyah is at 9 key items. 10 key items, we do get the experience from all encounters doubles, and so if Aeriyah is able to pull a 10 key item here, no matter what it is, can quickly do an egg grind, get some extra levels, and make the moon that much easier.
Could also do some grinds on the moon. Could go in the lunar subterrane. I believe he has some hourglasses.
Yeah, I believe we saw hourglasses in the cave of Eblo.
Yes.
So definitely have those. So yeah, could take those with 10 key items and the life glitch, which we know he has enough life pots to pull the life glitch off. Could be pulling in 180,000 experience from gold dragons on the moon.
Yeah.
Very very efficient grind, and with the Tela able to cast white or weak, makes that a very efficient grind and an easy one. And
Oh, a white shirt for all those white mages we don't have.
But Aeriyah not immediately resetting out. I guess does want to get a look at the boss to maybe see what rudeness is waiting for him on the moon.
Water hag. That would have been a free boss.
That would have been a free boss, but we now know that there will be rudeness waiting for us on the moon. Aeriyah, trying to remember which save he did near the big whale, but maybe accidentally overwrote it. I think maybe just unsure where to progress now that he's doesn't have the 10 key items unlocked.
I think he's gonna check Dwarf Castle, and if it's doesn't work out, he'll just reload back to the whale.
Yeah, and that makes sense. He peaked the Golbez and reset out earlier. Slippery is the only one who's completed it so far. Dijon, but why did Aeriyah make 3 of his party members into pigs? Can you enlighten us?
The fun fact about this game is there's sort of like a hierarchy of status effects and like what takes precedent over what, and it just so happens that the piggy status effect it has priority over Golbez's hold gas status effect. So just turn your party into pigs, and he can't hold them down.
Yeah. So any of the pigs that survive will be able to cast that Star Veil a little bit quicker than other ones.
Also, hey, do you remember what the name of the second Batman movie was?
It's Forever?
No.
No. Returns.
Yep. Because guess what? Batman's returning now.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I am the night.
Dijon, do you dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
I mean, if it's not past my bedtime.
Yeah, I know. It's just get exhausted much earlier these days. So Aeriyah finally dismissing the Edward for the Rydia after holding on to him for so long. But Slippery getting the bad news that no key item will be in Cave Magnus today. Aeriyah will soon be through Dwarf Castle and get the bad news there that is not the source of his 10th key item. And then I think both of our runners are going to have a decision to make.
Aeriyah getting off that life glitch on one of those guards, though.
Yeah, it's a nice little bit of extra experience. Especially this spot for being it's a scripted fight in vanilla, but it's a relatively low HP location for the amount of experience that you get, which is 20,000. So.
Also, you know what I just realized? It would have been perfect if the Dark Elf slot was Dark Knight Cecil. The Dark Knight. I blame Dathis for this.
Yeah, please direct your complaints on that to Dathis. That's with a hashtag BLAME TAA TAT. I'm gonna stop trying to spell on stream now.
It's okay. Words are hard.
No, yeah, words are hard. Spelling is hard. Blame Tathis. That's the hashtag you should use. Correct. Yeah, both of our runners did take the Rydia. I don't know if that's motivated by. I know Slippery's actively going to be using Rydia, probably because of just the amount of summons that we were able to get.
Yeah, because I mean, so far our runners have gotten Sylph, Leviathan, and Bahamut orbs.
Aeriyah may choose to use Rydia as the anchor because level 1 Rydia is just a like near perfect anchor.
I think he leveled her up in the Baron Guards fight.
Oh, okay. In that case, then
glitch.
yeah, then Aeriyah's anchor is still going to be a question mark, but going to be taking advantage of that Bahamut in the moon fights.
Looks like Slippery's gonna stick it out through the sealed cave. I guess the Murasame in that chest was enough to keep him to go through it when it wasn't for Aeriyah.
I mean, Hanzo Steel. I like me some Hanzo Steel, but I don't know. I don't know if that gives you a big enough benefit to justify the time it takes to warp out of the cave. I mean, you're definitely going to get some experience here from the water hag, but
Ryan not going top down.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a decision that you typically make, Dijon, or you just run right to the ribbon room? Because that always seems like the logical play, just for density.
It varies. If I'm going in for the first time, and having to go through the character cutscene, I'll go to the ribbon room because I can save over there, so I don't have to go through it again. Otherwise, I'll usually go to the top first.
Yeah, I think that there are certain times where if I'm like definitely not ready level-wise for the moon, I'll peek the top altar just as a quick check before leaving the moon. but otherwise I'm pretty much beelining it right to ribbon. Yeah, that's another thing that the chat is discussing about Rydia's XP curve being a major disadvantage to her as a black mage. Even more so here with these flags, because previous tournaments we've had the fact that the lower level character could be called what we call slingshot, which means they would get double experience compared to the rest of the party if they were 5 levels below the average. But we don't have that in this tournament.
Oh, well, there's our Dark Knight.
That's right. Yeah. Should swear to him is I believe what he says after he does 3 dark waves.
And uses elixir to keep Yang alive. So Yang's the only one going to get experience, but at least it's a free fight for him.
Yeah, that's a bold use of an elixir, though.
Yeah.
I think maybe, well, Cure 2 might have helped him survive. Cure 3 definitely would have. That's a legend sword.
Paid off.
It paid off. That's go mode for Aeriyah.
Yep, that's a craft of the sword and use the pass to come back. So
yeah, we are done on the moon. Although I guess there's still a question with what Aeriyah's grind is going to be, because he still does need to get up to those Z levels.
Yeah, he is taking the time to heal up while still here, rather than just bouncing immediately. So I'm guessing either Gold Dragons or Warlocks, and it looks like no.
Did Aeriyah just pick? Was that pass picked up in the ribbon room?
Yeah, the pass and the Legend Sword were both in there.
Okay, so it'll be interesting because Aeriyah's doing the grind now. It looks like Slippery is deciding to do an egg grind. Not sure if he's going to go up to Z levels or just go up to levels that he's comfortable fighting moon bosses with. But if he does decide to get the majority of his grind done now, we might have both of our runners entering Z around the same time.
So one of the King Ryus knocked out Tella before the Hourglass took effect, and he raised him to use Weak. See if he's gonna knock him back down beforehand, because I believe that's his anchor.
Yeah, both runners look like they're going to be using the Tella anchor. So, having to raise...
Tella.
Come on.
What?
15 HP left, hits himself for 14. The man's got a desire to live.
Tella's so useless he can't even knock himself down.
But yeah, so obviously the eggs go down a lot quicker than the King Ryus. The King Ryus are going to give a lot more experience than the eggs. So it's a big question mark right now.
With 10 key items, a life glitch, you get 180,000 experience.
And meanwhile, on Slippery's end, getting only 34,000 experience per egg.
We have not seen any white mages, other than, I guess, if you count Tella.
Which I don't.
Yeah, for one, he's the anchor.
Scythe Marshall mentioned that Asura may have been in the shop. Thank you for noting that. Whether our runners have noted it, and we'll know to go back and pick up Asura, because that definitely could be a decent way to get some healing with Aeriyah.
Yeah, I normally don't pay attention to where Asura is, and usually sell it if I come across one, because most of the time it's not that useful. But like the one time when you have Aeriyah and no white mages is when it's like, I shouldn't have sold that.
Well, two characters do go on vacation per seed. And it's possible that both of those white mages could be those characters. So it's always something to keep in the back of your mind. I mean, I definitely like a Fu could stand in for a white mage in the Z fight. Atella would be a stretch though.
Just sell the X-Cal. Cecil's not here. Sell the X-Cal.
But you can throw it. You can throw it.
You can throw the X-Cal? I thought you couldn't.
You can't throw the crystal sword. You can throw the.
Okay, crystal you can't throw.
But he's going to get a second Excalibur here, so maybe he should have sold one.
Oh, why throw one when you can throw two?
Fair.
I mean, Edge has 2 arms.
Yeah, so Aeriyah definitely going to be entering the Z fight probably around the time that Slippery's able to get even down to the Ribbon Room. So has the advantage here. This is certainly his race to lose right now.
Aeriyah not done grinding, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess he's only in the mid-40s. I don't know if he ran out of either hourglasses or just thought that the King Ryu grind was taking too long.
Now, he's got plenty of hourglasses.
Yes, maybe it was just the time.
Yeah. Well, I think probably because he knew he had to come back down here anyway, and he's probably at the point where he can just, like, shot these eggs. And you get 68,000 off of one of these eggs. And it's like 180,000 off of life glitched King Ryu. So if you can get a few eggs done in the time it takes you to do one King Ryu fight, and you have to come back down here anyway, you may as well do this because it's more reliable.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, he's using power on his Yang to basically one-shot the eggs. So
yeah,
probably getting through 3 eggs in maybe 45 seconds to a minute, maybe a little faster.
Plus, he's not having to rely on having Tella up to cast weak and then knock him back down.
And it's Slippery doing the reverse course, doing eggs and then coming and doing the King Ryus, but choosing to do the King Ryus before going to the Ribbon Room and getting that 10th key out. So gonna be a bit. There's gonna be a lot slower here compared to Aeriyah's grind.
Not entirely sure what Aeriyah's planning to do with Aeriyah for the final fight, or even Slippery for that matter, because I mean, using summons during the Z fight, not the best idea.
No, and we mentioned Rydia's XP curve being the worst of any of the black mages. it takes her a lot more XP to get up to level 50 and nuke than nearly any other character. So it's possible that the rest of Aeriyah's characters will be like 50, 53, 54 by the time that Aeriyah is able to learn nuke.
Oh, and Slippery went to the right room first. Because Yang's got a lot more HP than Aeriyah's did, so he's just gonna survive even without trying.
Oh, and trying to raise Aeriyah right at the end here, and I don't think he's going to be able to make it.
No.
A valiant effort, though.
But yeah, I don't think Aeriyah's Aeriyah leveled up high enough to learn Nuke. But so I guess he's gonna rely on. Yeah, he's at 44.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, it's not even close. So I guess he's gonna rely on reflecting viruses, maybe?
Or just using the Zerkers and then
just use her as a chemist.
Yeah, that's a piece of not a good chemist because she has so little HP.
Yeah.
Oh,
also, hey, there's a thing happening in the chat.
Oh,
what is
there
it?
is. Z question mark flag. A reference to a thing that we don't do anymore, technically. Did I condense it enough? Did I condense the meme enough? Zeromus, he's big and bad and scary, so we don't want to put him in the Baron, and we don't want to put him on top of Mono Ordeals. We don't want to put him anywhere but down here in the lunar sub at the center of the moon. So we have to randomize something about him. So we randomize his appearance. And around this time in a free enterprise seed, we get to ask the question, Dijon, what is that question?
But then who was phone?
Oh. Okay.
I think that was close enough.
Yeah. It's yes and. That's all I know. Aw.
Oh. Oh, this shouldn't take long. It's just a slime.
He's adorable. It's not even a metal slime. So he's not going to give a lot of HP. Or XP.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you don't really get much XP from this fight to begin with.
Yeah, what is that? How much XP does this fight give? I forget.
I think... carry the one...
Ooh, math on stream, Dijon. That's a dangerous thing. That's worse than spelling on stream, which I've already failed.
I think it's... Oh, I figured out what the Z on the flag stands for. It stands for 0 experience.
Okay, there we go. Hey, we finally figured out what the Z means.
Hooray!
Let's not tell anyone though, because that would ruin the surprise, and it would ruin one of our favorite emotes on the Free Enterprise channel.
Oh, well, I think we told at least like 150 people.
Oh darn. Well, since we've ruined that forever, we can talk about Aeriyah making steady progress here on this Zeromus fight. The first Big Bang was nerfed. His fighters are all zerked up, and Yeet is yeeting those Excaliburs.
I was saying, except for Edge, who's yeeting everything.
So now the second Big Bang is going to be the scary one. We'll see. He's going to try to nerf it, but even a nerfed Big Bang, well, I guess even the most powerful nerfed Big Bang is not going to kill Aeriyah, although a direct nuke certainly will.
Well, Edge is about to get yeeted from this plane of existence.
Yeah, neither of our runners have really a clear, like, healing strategy, just because of the characters that they were dealt and the items that they were dealt. So it's gonna be a rude fight.
I mean, I guess as long as he threw the Excaliburs already.
Yeah, I think Aeriyah's Edge did have the 2 longswords, so he's going to do a decent amount of experience. Slippery's Edge does have that Hanzo steel, so he's going to do a little more work in his Zeramus fight. And I think Aeriyah got lucky and actually skipped that big bang due to the phase shift. But another big bang is about to hit.
This okay.
It was nerfed.
Yeah. It's just kind of riding the edge of disaster there, though.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a black hole, which is right there, which means our Zerkers are gonna be expired, and again with no clear way to heal everybody up.
Oh, he's got a couple of elixirs.
Yeah, those will work.
And Edge had another sword to yeet. And there's Nuke. Nuke
Using that final using that final elixir though. Really, like so far, been a pretty stable Zeramus fight for the setup. Yeah, and Slippery's going to be doing a couple more eggs here. Slippery going in with 1 less damage dealer than Aeriyah, of course, thanks to Tunes up there on the top.
Yeah, did not find the spoon.
No, we would be having a very different discussion if he did manage to find that spoon. Oh, we have entered the rocks phase. Aeriyah might almost be through this. Throwing that crystal at an inopportune time, if that nuke falls on the wrong character, this could be bad.
Edge is getting fried. Oh. Oh gosh.
That's a lack of flashbang, but that's a shake.
GG. Edge sitting there with 24 HP left. Wow. Heck.
Yeah, that's a win for Aeriyah. That moves him to 3-2. His final time on the seed, 1 hour 21 minutes 24 seconds. We're going to see if we can get him in here for an interview. Meanwhile, I think Slippery still finishing up his grind. Not sure how much longer he's going to keep going, although he just still has a bunch of sirens left.
Yeah, he's been fighting those eggs the whole time that Aeriyah was fighting Z.
Yeah, but I think he lost a chunk of time by doing the King Ryu's and doing some eggs before he had 10 key items. So that was not the most efficient. But we are joined now by Aeriyah. GG's.
Hey, thanks. That was a fun time, wasn't it?
mean, we had fun.
I think that
So
was probably. Go ahead.
No, please.
I was just gonna say, I think that was probably one of my least favorite parties I've ever ended up with at Z before.
Certainly on this flag set.
Yeah.
So, could you tell us about that Z fight? Like, you went into that Z fight, no decent healer, just what was it, like 4 elixirs, an underleveled Aeriyah. Like what was your strategy going in? And obviously, tell us how it played out.
Well, my strategy was I'm desperate, so I have to go to Z because this is a fast Z. But I don't know. Basically, I didn't want to take the time to level up Aeriyah to nuke levels because I didn't have a white mage anyway, so keeping her up for any consistent amount of time was going to be trouble. So I figured I could just use her to nerf big bangs with Crystal, which I've done, I think, once or twice before, but haven't really practiced. So I'm glad that ended up working out, the timing of it and everything. But I figured I had like 5 or 6 items to throw with Edge, so I just throw everything that I had at Z, and then once that was done, I'd zerk them up and just hope that was enough to clog up the queue to get me through the end of the game.
Yeah, it certainly worked. Like, do you have a lot of experience with Z fights without any solid healing before?
No.
I mean, you didn't even have like a Telite to do like any like basic healing because he went down almost immediately.
Yeah, at least I had elixirs though, and like 2 of my party members had massive HP pools, so that helps. So I figured I'd probably be okay with elixirs, but yeah, I got down to my last couple of Bacchus, and I was like, well, if I get another black hole phase, I'm probably done for. So I meant to save or drop a save and leave it down by the eggs in case I had to go back and scramble a few more. But then I overwrote that save, and I was like, okay, we're in it now.
The you appeared to be struggling a little bit throughout the season with, I think, like you mentioned, like you weren't too happy with the character pool you were given, but you were struggling like what characters to keep and when, and I think what your anchor was. You had Edward for a while. You got rid of the second Sid. Like, what were as the seed went on? Like, what was your anchoring strategy, and why dump the second Sid instead of the leveled up Edward at that point?
I don't know, like, you probably saw my inventory management. I'd like go into inventory and then jump out and then go back in and then jump out and go back in. Like, I just kept on forgetting what I was doing. My head's all like blasted today for whatever reason. But the party member selection was definitely the hardest choice. I thought about keeping the Sid because I had that Dorfax. I was like, well, I could anchor Sid, but I had Tella, and I figured I could just keep Tella dead, and then I guess for one of the fights I forgot to kill him. I have no idea where that was, so that freaked me out a bit. I'm bad at managing agility, just in general, so this scene was a little sloppy. I know people that could have done it faster, so hopefully I can shore up those weaknesses for next week, because the pools just get harder the more wins you get.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I would call. I don't know if I'd call your play sloppy. I think that you did the best you could with what you were given, which is a decent amount of money and very poor character choices.
Like a bunch of crystal armors, a bunch of Excaliburs and stuff like that. The hardest one that I think had me on edge the most was when I wiped at Ordeals. Like, that wasn't fun, especially since I didn't save after doing Kainazo. It's like, okay, well, that's some time thrown away. Hopefully that doesn't bite me. Luckily it didn't, because I know Slippery's pretty good, so.
Yeah, for sure. That was certainly a rude boss coming out. coming after the relatively easy Kainazo.
It's the second week in a row that a D-Lunar has just been absolutely rude to me. I need to practice that fight, because the previous week against Antidale, he just absolutely stomped me at the Leviathan spot, so I need to figure that one out. So the
the other thing is like you know underground access was revealed fairly quickly. You had the edge, but you had the edge from the Eblin from the hook crab before Slippery did. And I always like to ask, like, is immediately running to get that character something that you typically do? Was it because of the loot? Like, why did you make that decision so quickly to just run to cave up one?
It was mostly because I hated my party. I think we had an Excal pretty shortly after that, so like, I just started doing character checks hoping that I'd run into a Cecil somewhere. But yeah, mostly I just didn't like the party I had at all. After I got Edge though, and I remembered to move him to the middle slot, I was like, well, I have Magma Key, but everything on Earth top area is slow, so why don't I just keep clearing the top of Earth, hoping for Payon, and just save my checks down under for when I have to go there, because I'm not going to save any time doing any checks down there right now.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Dijon, do you have any questions?
No, I think you've pretty well covered it.
Yeah. So Aeriyah, and are we saying your name correctly? Because we had a debate
Yes.
before the stream started. Okay, perfect.
You are, thank you.
Any last thoughts on the seed? You're going to the 3-2 pool. You said that obviously that's a tougher pool of runners, and you're still up against elimination next week to move on to brackets. So do you have any thoughts about the seed or the tournament overall?
No, the seed was definitely one that I'm uncomfortable with. I don't like jet seeds, and I don't like it when we open up the law of the world really quick, and I think we did both of those things. So I'm just glad to be done with this one and move on to the next one. Shoutouts to Woo Bear and Peasants for coaching me up, and also fight me next round. You won't.
Well, congratulations on your win again, and good luck next week and beyond.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
So, interesting little bit happening on Slippery's end with the middle edge. Not a traditional anchor. But Wee Bear pointing out, of course, that if Edge is at level agility 42, then that sets Zeromus at relative agility 3. So at least it's controlled.
Yeah, agility's confusing.
for sure.
Like it.
But we saw similar strategy to Aeriyah did on Slippery's end with Edge throwing everything he could. Yang zerked up, doing some chemist action going on because there's no decent healing. Edward spending most of the fight on the ground, of course.
Tell kept dodging those meteos. I forgot he was alive. Oh, and there's the flash.
Hey, so GG's to Slippery. Coming in about 10 minutes behind Aeriyah. At a very good time for this seed at 1 hour 31 minutes and 50 seconds, and we are joined by Slippery.
Ahoy, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yep.
So, GG's on your finish.
GG.
Obviously, it's a bummer that you have to be eliminated at this stage, but you played the seed very well for what it was. But my first question, why did you keep the Edward?
I was living the Spoonie dream. And I figured, so in my practice run last night, I ended up going 17 out of 17 and I figured the seed would end up having me hunt a couple more bosses, which would have given me more chances for a spoon. And, he's a respectable enough archer. Assuming I actually nerf the first Big Bang.
Yeah, I was kind of watching the spoiler log go by after Aeriyah finished, and that spoon was.
Yeah, I missed it. Where was it?
So the spoon, the sylphs had the spoon, and Pan
Okay.
was the
It
Pan
was like
was,
behind Earth Crystal, behind Odin's Spot or something like that.
yeah, and then Baron Key was behind Cave Value.
Yeah.
So that was a long out there chain to get to the spoon.
Yeah, sadly not worth it. I was kind of hoping like I'd at least have found an Artemis bow or something as a backup, but no such luck.
No, but I mean, even so, like take us through the Zeromus fight. I mean, we saw a similarly interesting Zeromus fight from Aeriyah, but you had chemist action, you had throws. What was your strategy going in, and how'd you play it out?
Oh yeah, I hope that was exciting for the viewers. I went in like a little bit worried just because I didn't have the ideal party. I mean, no proper white mage. So I was gonna do the best I could. Zerk up Eddie and Yang, or Edward and Yang. Have Edge throw the inventory. Have Tella like drop a cure for her on somebody whenever he could, and have Aeriyah reflect nukes. Unfortunately, like the Big Bang nerf missed. This Silk Web, I don't think I ever actually got that off, so he wasn't slowed. I think my Star Veil wore off mid-fight, so Aeriyah nuked herself. So I figured, like, I've already lost at this point. I'll just play it out and try and make it exciting. And luckily pulled through. That white shirt I didn't reset out of Luca Cave for, ended up kind of pulling Tella through.
Yeah, I was keep like watching, and like he dodged the meteor so many times I forgot he was still alive.
Yeah, but I mean, like going into the Z fight, I was really dismayed because when I did my final grind up to Z levels, I was like, oh no, I left Tella alive. Was this one of the levels he got a point of agility? Because he was on 14, and yeah, sure enough, he went up to 15, and that kind of screwed up my Tella anchoring plan, so I figured, okay, backups, let's just have Veg be the anchor because he's fast. And hits that sweet spot of greater than or equal to 42 agility. At least that's how I know it. I'm not an expert at how agility anchoring works at all. It's magic.
Yeah, the people who really have agility mastered are the either lying or the absolute top tier. It's free enterprise.
Have already advanced to the next stage of the tournament.
Yes, most likely. It's Dia. That's the answer. Dia is the one who has the agility anchoring mastered. But so you unfortunately you've fallen to 2 and 3. Do you have any overall thoughts on this tournament and how it played out? Anything that you think you could have done better today? Or I know this seed was a weird one and a rude one, but I think that there's not much differently we could have really played it. Your time was very good for what for the hand that you were dealt.
Yeah, I was a little bummed at kind of how I played the past 2 rounds of the tournament, like this one and my previous game. Like looking back at the matches, I could have done a lot of things better. Like in my previous one, I think just it ended up being a real big rabbit hole. I finished with a time of like 2 hours 30 or something like that. I mean, it was a really long seed, and I could have probably cut like 40 or 50 minutes had I just sucked it up and decided to do my my grind in the Giant. And like there was a character objective I knew who was at the end of Giant in that one, but I felt like going on the hunt instead, and it ended up taking a lot longer. So just doing like kind of strategies halfway really messed me up in that game, and I think a little bit in this one too. I think I may have either may have kind of underground a little bit, or undergrinded, I guess. But overall, I really like the flag set for the tournament. Like I love playing on the more generous treasure settings, and then I think setting Vanilla Giant did a lot to make it something a little bit more make the games a little bit spicier than whoever finds the darkness crystal and does their D machine grind wins. So yeah, that was pretty good. I'm again bummed I'm out, but congrats to Aeriyah and best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
No, yeah, GG's again. It's unfortunate anyone has to be eliminated, but you played extremely well, and better luck in the next one, and in your final match next week.
Alrighty, thanks.
So Dijon, I think we've come to the end of our broadcast for tonight. I think we learned a lot.
Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, no, both of two runners finished. We're at the end.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I guess I was a little confused. I had to ask the question. But I think we learned a lot tonight. I think we entertained, we educated.
Yeah, hopefully. If I said anything educational, it was purely by accident.
And we completed a seat of free enterprise. I think that's the most important thing. But we do have even more free enterprise for everyone tonight. And when we're in our raid target, I believe we're sending everyone over to Bursic Badger.
Yep.
So, Dijon, wish you a good night. Thank you, of course, to Dathis and Scythe Marshall, who are doing the background work. And our runners, please give them a follow, and give Bursic Badger a nice free enterprise hello.
And thanks to Gundam Pilot Spaz, who can't think himself or he looks like a jerk.
Yes, thank you, Dijon, for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Also, do not spoil this race when we go into the raid. We know where you live.